I'll hand over to Jenna, who has been one of our students. Just to take us through her experience with the academy and what worked and just her overall experience.
All
Can hear you
right.
now. Thanks a
Hi,
lot.
everyone. Yeah, so I think everything I'm going to say basically is a summary of what everyone has said, what the tutors have said, and what our pillar heads have said. These tutorials are very much an addition to what you do as an individual, right? And so I think many of us come thinking that the tutorials will be everything. There'll be all the preparation that we need. But tutorials, just to emphasize this, right? Tutorials will always just be a plus to your own individual effort. And so for me, the Academy's tutorials have really come in handy. My first time using them was for my CS1 paper last April. And then it was basically a crash course, and I needed to put in both the time individually because even in the tutorials, even if the teachers took me through all the content that I had, I probably wouldn't pass the papers if I couldn't apply the information, right? So this is just to say that as individuals, we'll still be required to play our part, to put in the effort we're required to put in, and everything else the tutorials will add on. They'll build on the knowledge that you've gotten. They'll help you apply, see how best to apply, see how best to make use of what has been given to you, how best to type quickly, how best to finish this paper, right? And so the Academy's tutorials, basically we definitely have tutors. Leon is one of them. He has been my tutor in the subjects I have done, and they'll carry out sessions during the week. I believe, according to the students program, days can be chosen where these sessions can be carried out, right? After that, I believe for students who are unavailable during the week, during the session times, tutorials, recordings can be offered to the students who need them. And also we did receive tests after every topic. We did receive mock exams to test that you'd actually understood what you were doing. And in addition to that, these tests just ensured that you were able to apply. We had not simply run through a session, but would be able to use the knowledge there. And so our tutors, despite testing us, also went ahead to make sure that if a student had failed, they'd maybe address the issues of which topics had gone wrong, what could you have not understood there, how could we make it better for you, and in that way we would move on. Now I believe you've seen the topics that were being emphasized upon, right? And so with tutorials, there probably may not be time to cover so many topics, especially for now, like CM1, where they've mentioned that there's a combination of two papers in one, right? So for 28 chapters, there may not be enough time to go through every single topic that will come. However, because you have probably put in some time before the tutorials commence, key topics that have become a challenge or prove to need help for people to better understand will be actually gone through. Questions will be asked, and for those that have not had that much time for people to run through them, those topics would have us just get tests and exams through them so that we'd actually make sure even that content has been addressed and dealt with, and you as a student, you're comfortable with them, right? Yes, and Leon did mention that he'd always be available for the students, and I testify to that. Every single time I was doing a number and I felt like I was stuck, I didn't know what to do, I was struggling, I'd always reach out to him, and he was always available to help me, always available to help me think another way that I probably needed to think, right? Could you please go to the next slide? Yes. And in addition to that, I just wanted to add that while content coverage is key, I believe there's very many people who may just want us to go through every single topic, right? Simple classroom setting like we used to do in school. But content coverage is one thing, right? For these papers, let it be SOA or IFOA, covering the content is one thing. Being able to actually put this content to life, to apply it is the actual thing of actual subject of this matter, right? And so I'll just say again that exam preparation really needed us to practice, and the academy did that for us properly. Our tutors were always in for, send me that mock exam by Monday. Yeah, please do this over the weekend. Have a few numbers, try this number. They were always going out and beyond to make sure that we had practiced and were able to apply every little thing that we had to do, every little thing that we had run through in class, everything that was a hindrance, you get. And in addition to that, I'll just say that our tutors actually went out of their way to help us understand that our students were different, right? So because we're different, there's no one way, one correct way for everyone, right? And with our own different understandings of how things were done, they guided us into ways of making this paper easier for us. How could you maybe complete your paper faster with the way you do things as you as an individual? How could you, for example, I believe a number of us are more comfortable doing calculations using a calculator. And so with, for example, in CM1, yes, CM1 where we use Excel, if we're doing if we have paper B in Excel, how could we transfer our knowledge of that Excel to even help us do our paper A at a faster rate, rather than doing these calculations on a calculator where you could have data entry issues, where so many things could go wrong because of a calculator. Can we do this in Excel so that we can track back, so that we can actually get these answers faster with more ease? They did just make sure at the end of the day, we were all in a position to actually sit this paper confidently and do it to our best, right? So if you are here today in the academy, if you're wondering if this is a good place to start at, I'll encourage you and tell you that this could be a good place for you. But I'll also still encourage you to put in your work, do your best, and your papers will actually be your best. Thank you.